I'm sorry, Miss Braxton. Oh, are you for real? Yes, we're kicking off with Kayla Braxton on that kickoff show for WrestleMania 38 Night 2, claiming those two big beefy boys in the sky are, and I quote, the only two to ever defeat The Undertaker. And I was thinking to myself, Kayla, ever, as the song goes, you know. Where were you, Kayla Braxton, when the great Khali had the sole of his boot on The Undertaker's dead titties? Tea time. And now we have Booker T. Everybody sit down for this. It's massive information. We have Booker T once again on our kickoff show last night claiming that Roman Reigns retired Goldberg during their match or with their match back in February at Elimination Chamber. Now, as we all know, I love Goldberg. Goldberg is the reason I am a fan of professional wrestling. But the way he would just waltz back into WWE and say, hey there, Roman Reigns, toodle pip, good fellow, I'm next in line for a Universal Championship shot, and he would get a piston shot like he was down at the Baker's going, oh, I'm next in line for a lovely juicy bap. It really pissed me off. So Booker T, you better not be lying with such a big claim like that one there from last night's kickoff show. And if you're not lying, Booker T, thank you, oh, my knees. Thank you, Jesus! The end of Goldberg, thank you! Now, if you're telling me that's not Joey Janela, you are full of shit. It was exciting to hear that American footballing man right there claim he has a fantastic Booker T impersonation. But then he just said, can you dig that, sucker? In his normal voice, and I was sat there like, what? Oh, hell no! Hold up there, that was terrible. Hang your head in shame, you American footballing man. Now, that sign there reads, Cultaholic versus what culture? Book it, Vince. Now, I don't know about you, dear viewer, but that there to me, it sounds like a stupid idea from bad creative. It's John O'Clock, you bastards! He came back for seconds, the greedy bugger! There's no real reason, dear viewer. It's just WrestleMania. It's stupendous, and I can tell the time. With no watch. Get in there! So apparently the new day called Butch, Botch and Bitch EastEnders Rejects. And I was thinking, oh, you dizzy blood, I will shank you, because none of those three lads are from London town. Butch, he's clearly a Peaky Blinder, but from Wish. Sheamus, of course, is the most muscular priest from Craggy Island. And of course, Ridge Holland, he comes straight from Emmerdale because he's been down to pub watching Sheamus win money into bank with Kane Dingle and Shadrach in the wolf pack. He's at the double, it's John O'Clock again! JBL was speaking about freaks during that kickoff show last night, and he mentioned Mark Henry by name, which of course, dear viewer, is a massive WTF moment because there's a clear do not mention AEW people, they are the devil thing going on in WWE right now. And I know this because I was watching the kickoff show for night one of WrestleMania 38, and they were speaking about brotherly tag teams who are brothers, and they did not mention the Hardys by name. And I don't know about you, John, but I reckon Vince McMahon's gonna smack that naughty bum bum, but you would probably like that, wouldn't you? You big freak. And I'm making that backhand that Montez Ford delivered right to the meaty chops of Chad Gable and my Who's of WTF moment, because that is the stiffest thing I've seen since the porn. Honestly, I watched that and I thought, bloody hell, it's just like me being back at home with me mum and I steal the last sausage at tea time. Because of the backhanded slap, not because of the porn, you dirty bastard. In the words of Destiny's Child, question, with Randy Orton already on his feet, dear viewer, what on earth is Chad Gable going for there? I tell you, I've heard of suicide dives before, but not in terms of just killing your own chances of winning a match and handing the big dub to your opponents on a silver platter. Master's degree, my arse, Chad. Hey, master's degree, my arse, you thick bastard. Vince McMahon likes big sweaty men. Vince McMahon likes big sweaty man. Vince McMahon likes the biggest sweaty man. Oh yeah, almost cradle me in your arms like a baby. Vince loves it, daddy, yeah. Now, I've never seen a professional wrestler run towards the turnbuckles and trip into them, not touching their opponent, and it class as their own offensive maneuver. But that's what Omos did last night, and it's a WTF moment. He's just like Seth Rollins. He's just like AJ Styles. Omos is the best bout machine. Sammy does the sex work on this side of his professional wrestling endeavors. Well, I tell you what, dear viewer, I bet that's a hell of a time. Mago, 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 mago. So Michael Cole saw that mousetrap infested table right there, and he says to Pat McAfee, hey Pat, maybe they're here to trap the rats. And then Pat McAfee says back to Maggle, which makes this a WTF moment, oh, I get it. Oh, the shivers. Tell me he did not just say that. Tell me Michael Cole did not reference that table in the context of the ye olde professional wrestler terminology of rat. Because if he did, I feel like I'm gonna spew. It's Naked Midian 2.0, said Michael Cole very calmly. Now, if party boys clapping cheeks was not enough for you, Michael Cole dropping a Naked Midian reference at WrestleMania 38 for that scene there makes that thing a WrestleMania moment. It is stupendous. Andre and Hogan, Cesaro and Big Show, Ronda Rousey and Lady Balls at WrestleMania 34. You can all get out of here, because that there is the greatest slam we've seen at any WrestleMania ever, as Wee Man, he went all Brock Lesnar on Sami Zayn's sorry arse. And I'm questioning right now, who put LSD in my coffee? Why am I seeing those things happen at WrestleMania 38? Why? And then Sami Zayn got twatted by the son of Mark Henry and Mae Young, making his WrestleMania debut, all while he was being threatened by Johnny Knoxville, who had a taser in his hand. This was the greatest WrestleMania match ever, and it ended with Sami Zayn getting trapped pinned down in a massive human-sized mouse trap. Finally, WWE putting smiles on people's faces, having fun with professional wrestling. I never thought I'd see the day again, but it's happened. Oh! The end is nigh, the end is nigh, time to run away, the end is nigh. We even had
SmackDown Pat, what was the line that you just spat?
SmackDown Pat referencing Pete Weber when Johnny Knoxville had that bastard bowling ball out. Who do you think you are? I am! Oh man, I've just spoken about their WWE putting smiles back on people's faces. And then Carmella and Queen Zelina, they don't win their WrestleMania 38 match. Therefore, Carmella does not have the sex she promised to have with Corey Graves should they have won their WrestleMania 38 match. I'm absolutely gutted. Sasha Banks finally won a WrestleMania match. She has won in the win column. Six in the loss column. You need to grab 2 of each animal, 2 Lamborghinis, 2 corgis, and lots of blue hair, and head for the bastard border. The end is nigh, time to run away, the end is nigh. On a more serious note, that win for Sasha Banks at WrestleMania, very much deserved. Why the piss is AJ Styles taking advice from Goldberg? Drawing blood before the match has even started? That's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him. Now, apparently AJ Styles legitimately caught his face on the WrestleMania 38 stage, and there's every chance in the world that AJ Styles, while approaching that WrestleMania 38 set piece, thought, oh my god, that thing's flat, when in fact it's round, and it made him bleed because he went poof, because he thought it was flat and he's stupid. But WrestleMania 38, not only cutting matches due to time constraints, but also cutting cheeks. Damien, you naughty boy! We didn't see it coming, did we? I bet there's some people saying they did, but you're liars! We didn't see it coming. Can you Adam and Eve it? Damien Priest is now Edge's little bitch, and Edge having his own brood is something that should happen, something that now looks like it is happening, and something that should be very, very good. Who do you believe, dear viewer? Mike Rome, who announced the WrestleMania 38 Night 2 attendance at 77,453. Kevin, who, as you can see there, said it was 78,453. Or absolutely nobody, because WWE, they are arseholes who make up their attendance numbers off the top of their heads. Now, despite all of the promo packages on night 1, and despite all of the promo packages on night 2, which included lots and lots of replays of what happened on WrestleMania 38 night 1, those lads got to wrestle a match. Kind of. Well, they got in the ring, and they wrestled a match. Yeah, but, I was about to say grab 2 of each animal, head for the border once again, the 3rd time for this video, but that's overkill. This is a serious issue, WWE. I don't know what the crack is with all those promo packages on night 1, and all those lengthy, girthy recaps on night 2, but we don't need them. We know Sasha Banks. We know Bobby Lashley. We saw what happened at WrestleMania 38 night 1. If people didn't see it, that's their issue. They can go back on Peacocky Cock and watch WrestleMania 38 night 1 anytime they want. Stop wasting precious minutes on stuff we do not need to see. It's simple. Give us more wrestling. What a novel concept, eh?
Do 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 SmackDown Pat.
Who was the twat that you just smacked? It was Austin Theory, and I swear down, Pat got him right in the dick. Just once. And even though it should not be a WTF moment because I saw Pat McAfee do his thing in NXT, Pat McAfee on the WrestleMania 38 stage doing a backflip off the top rope, landing on his feet in the middle of the ring, waltzing up to the turnbuckles, jumping to the top turnbuckle like he's Brock Lesnar on some sort of hallucinogenic, and then doing a superplex off the top rope to the mat is a WTF moment. I don't care who you are, even if you're Pat. That rhymed. I'm a poet and I wasn't aware. And speaking of SmackDown Pat, they should now call him Postman Pat because he always delivers. So if Postman Pat beats somebody who Vince McMahon himself called a future Universal Champion, that is translated back into English, like Austin Theory that was, by the way. Vince McMahon called Austin Theory a future Universal Champion. If Pat beat him, does that make Pat also a future Universal Champion? Just think about that, dear viewer. Think about it long and hard. And by the way, Vince, how can Austin Theory be a future Universal Champion, a future Universal Champion, when there's a unification match coming up later in the night? You're making this stuff up, man, Vince McMahon, and you've got no Scooby-Doo whatsoever. What the balls is going on? Bloody hell, you can see where Shane gets it from, can't you? They're sweaty bastards. And this is where the night took a turn, dear viewer. The turn for the better. It was already very good, and then we went to a different level because Vince McMahon, he stripped off his jacket, he stripped off his shirt, the tie went, his vest was there, his man tits were jiggling, he got in the ring and he started wrestling Pat McAfee in a proper match at WrestleMania 38. He's doing clotheslines, he's doing kicks, and the fans inside the arena are chanting, "You still got it! You still got it, Vince McMahon. He never bloody had it, but he still got it. He still has got it. What? I don't know." But then the streak was over. Pat McAfee's undefeated streak at WrestleMania came to a horrible, heartbreaking end because Vince McMahon pinned him. Woo! Vince McMahon pinned him. Vince McMahon beat Pat McAfee at WrestleMania by kicking a foam American football into the tits or the belly of Pat McAfee. That's how he won. That actually happened. Am I real? I'm feeling that slap. I'm feeling that slap, everybody. It wasn't a dream. It actually happened. Wrestling's fantastic. And then Vince McMahon got the fright of his life for a reason that wasn't clear when it happened, but became clear very soon after. And that's because he thought Austin Theory's A-Town Down theme was Stone Cold Steve Austin's theme. Go back and watch it. Vince hears noise. Vince thinks, "Oh, Stone Cold's coming. Let's pretend we're crapping ourselves." But no, it's my little bitch's theme. His little bitch. He is a little bitch, isn't he? But he sucks him off. This part of WrestleMania 38 was bollocks, but in the best possible way. WWE having fun and making people laugh. I never thought I'd see the day. They take themselves too seriously by and large, and when they don't, it's horrible like the 24/7 division. But this was good. This was fantastic. More of this happening, man. It was like we're back in the end 1998. Fantastic. And speaking of 1998, Vince McMahon could not sell a Stone Cold Stunner back then, and he cannot sell a stunner here in the year of 2022. Genetic jackhammer, you call yourself, Vince McMahon? Linda's better at selling the Stone Cold Stunner than you are, you bitch. You're the worst Stone Cold Steve Austin seller in the history of Stone Cold Steve Austin sellers. Genetic jackhammer, I bet your dick's always soft, Vince. I'm really saying this and it's going out in public eye. Shearer! And this was the low-key moment of the night after being Stone Cold stunned out of his boots. Falling backwards like a falling down tree. Pat McAfee was knocked out, spark out on the floor, but he was still guzzling beer like it was 3 a.m. He's on the big market here in Newcastle, and that's what you're supposed to do. Just drink beer, even if you spark out. Roman Reigns! Acknowledge these nuts. And I'm telling you, that's not Brock Lesnar there. And I'm saying that because the Brock Lesnar we've got to know over the past 20 or so years would have done his introduction much like this. The reigning and defending WWE Heavyweight Champion of the world, Brock Lesnar. Because sometimes when he's shouting really loudly, you're left asking yourself, has Brock Lesnar's bowels actually dropped? Has he gone through the puberty? I'm tired. Now, while WrestleMania 38 was fantastic by and large, there was some bollocks to address on night 1 and night 2. How can you have a 2-night WrestleMania. I swear it was like 12 hours, including both kickoff shows and both main cards, and there's no room for an IC title match or a US title match. That, my pals, is a load of bollocks. And finalement, Bobby Lashley, but not Bobby Leasley. I am spent. Thank you to the Doctor 19901 for spreading the good name of Cultaholic throughout Dallas and the WWE Universe. Next time you go to a show, do something like he did there. That was a fantastic WrestleMania. I don't care what you say. Over both nights, the positives way outweighed the negatives, and we haven't always been able to say that when it comes to a WrestleMania in recent years. I thought it was one of the better WrestleManias of all time. I had a ball watching it, and I don't care if you disagree. Don't piss on me because I had fun and you're too miserable to give a toss. Yes, I've said it, because I tweeted it last night, right? And people came back saying, oh, your standards are low. No, I'm just having fun. Lighten up, you dickhead. And with that off my chest, if you do disagree, let me know in the comments down below. If you agreed, let me know in the comments down below. Call Andrew Hodgkinson the biggest arsehole in the history of arseholes in the comments down below. Give the video a like. Do not give the video a dislike. That's a bad thing. We don't want that. Cultaholic could end if you keep disliking videos, which you don't do anyway, but you know, just in case you were tempted to. And if you're feeling extra fruity, give that video a massive share anywhere you like. I've been Ross Tweddle from Cultaholic Wrestling. Those were the WTF moments for WrestleMania 38. Hope you had a fantastic time. I thought it was great. I'll see you in the future.